Okay, that was
Hooray.
really weird. It wouldn't let me unmute or start video. I was like, what's going on? Anyway, good morning, good evening, good time zone appropriate greeting. How are you, Terry?
Yeah, good, thanks. And you?
Oh, another day, new job, slightly stressed. It's all good. Welcome to my new Apple M1 MacBook Pro. It seems quite nice.
Cool.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. We are only three.
Looks like maybe, hang on, I'm getting the agenda up. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can make this work. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, gosh darn it. All right. I can't share screen without restarting Zoom. Here is agenda and HackMD. Okay, edit. This is the document I'm editing in case anyone wants to add along. All right. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I shouldn't have to sign in everywhere here. We were going to talk about the bird of a feather today, if I remember correctly.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
And we should probably touch on the last gaps that we've got on the documentation pack as it's going
Yes.
so far.
Huh. Attendees, Tarneta's MongoDB. That's weird. Cox. How is your name now Moshi or Moisi? Moi?
Yeah, M-O-I-S-E.
Okay, and Moi, where do you work?
I'm from Canada. I'm in Canada. I'm working to the Hydro-Québec. It's company, electrical company here. So,
Well, I'm sorry, what was it called again?
Hydro-Québec. Hydro-Québec is H-Y-D-R-O dash.
Oh, hi. Quebec. Okay.
Quebec.
All right. Thank you. Okay, as far as action items from last time, just really quick, I had put in a new bug requesting a public domain, and as best I can tell, it hasn't even been looked at. So I will be bothering Cara to see if she can help me get that unblocked.
Yeah, I guess we need to do that pretty urgently now, don't we?
Yeah. And I can only imagine that this is complicated by the fact that everybody's focused on KubeCon and there's still no executive director for CDF.
Oh, okay, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, naturally. Okay.
I posted, I don't know if, let me check the agenda. Are we gonna follow the agenda or?
I posted the link. So the here's the, can you see that link? So that's the link to the GitHub page. And then I'm using HackMD to actually edit the agenda. So just as an FYI.
Yeah, let's go here. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if you is it predefined the agenda for today or you are busy now?
So for today, we had previously agreed we were going to be spending some time talking about the Birds of a Feather talk that Terry and I are hosting at CDCon in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
But we can also talk a little bit about some of the outstanding documentation issues. Did you have an agenda item that you wanted to add?
No particular because but I placed the question on the Slack channel last time to ask if someone can help me to build a landscape, the proper landscape for my company. So is it possible to customize to build this landscape proper of my company? So maybe you can.
I'm not super savvy on the landscape stuff. It's I think the CD Foundation uses the same general platform that Linux Foundation uses, and there is a repo here. I'll post that you can use as a template.
Okay.
And it has a fair amount of detail that you can look at. I don't know if Terry, if you have any additional comments there.
Yeah, no, I haven't had much involvement on that side.
Yeah.
Okay. Try it.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. I have not heard from Tracy, so don't know if there's any updates to the security stuff. We still need somebody who wants to own the compliance section. Excuse me. I might actually be able to take a stab at that. I'm still trying to figure out what my new schedule looks like. But if that turns out to be the case, then I'm not going to be able to look at it before CDCon.
Okay. We've got a number of other gaps as well.
Yep. Let's see. Do we want to, let's see, issues. So we have the tracking issues at iLog, which are still closing that feedback loop out. Are there other things that we need to log for tracking purposes?
So we've got a few sections with no content in still.
All right. Let me just quickly create some issues. You want to just read them out?
So we've got nothing in version control at the moment. Sorry, let me shut that up.
Oh my God, you're wearing a Tempest shirt. Sorry, I just noticed that. That was my absolute favorite game when I was in middle school. Love that game. Let's see, create version control.
And sorry, domain specific practices we've got as a section, and we've got no content in that either.
All right, need content developed for version. Hold that thought. Right.
Hi, folks.
Hello.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm a new joiner.
Excellent.
Welcome.
And your name is?
Richard Murray. I will update. Sorry, I'm not in the right Zoom account at the moment.
All right. How do you spell your last name?
Kilmurray, it's spelled Kilmurray.
All right. And which company are you at, or are you a
Vodafone Group.
Vodafone? I have several jerseys that have Vodafone on them.
Excellent.
They're no longer the jersey sponsor for Man United, but okay. Welcome.
Thank you.
Do you have the agenda info?
I do, yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're quickly making sure we have bugs captured for filling out the content. And I'm sorry, Terry, it was domain specific. Ah, right. Would that be something that would be part of the community section, or are you thinking more abstractly? Like,
No, we've got it in as a subsection under learn at the moment.
okay,
And I'm not sure where that one came from. But we do also have another section under resources, which is industry specific. So I don't know whether we've got a duplication or if there was a specific intent for that domain specific section.
all right, so need clarity. Oh,
We might want to remove it for the moment and then add it back in with some content. In the
right.
future.
Okay. All right, have the trackers. Anything else? Want to make sure we don't lose track of?
I think those are the big ticket items. Everything else we seem to have some level of content in, other than the resources section. But obviously we can fill that out fairly quickly.
Okay. Okay. Richard, do you have particular interest topics or?
I should introduce myself really.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. So Richard Kilmurray, I'm in Vodafone Group as part of the network strategy and architecture team. In particular, I'm in the network cloud and automation team, and we're looking at all the aspects of changing some of the rather sluggish old-fashioned network functions to cloud-native network functions. Some of my colleagues are already in the team, are already involved in Linux Foundation and Linux Foundation networking projects like Anaket. Ricardo Gasparetto was involved in that one. And Tom Kivlin, he's over at KubeCon now. He's on the program board for the telco part. So I'm responsible for introducing CI/CD type behavior for telco network functions. So I'm just trying to get up to speed, and I'm trying to see if CDF will be relevant. So I'll just join for some calls and see how closely it fits with what we're doing, if that's okay.
Yes,
Sure.
of course.
Thank you very much.
And if you want to reach out to me independently, I'm quite happy to have a chat in more depth.
Thanks, Terry. Much appreciated. So I don't think any new things from me just yet. I'll just listen and not reinvent the wheel on what you're already doing. Thank you.
Yeah. Certainly sounds like an interesting domain-specific scenario as well, huh, Terry?
Most definitely. It's very new to telco, so we need to build up our expertise, hence the best practice interest.
Okay, cool.
Right, so I guess we probably want to have a chat on what the plans are for CDCon.
Yep, and I just realized that I'm an idiot and I misremembered which dates, which things are happening. So I have to change some of my scheduling. Not a problem. I will get that done. Because as it stands now, I'm going to be on a plane during that time. So I will fix that. Off by 1 hour. Okay, so we have 30 minutes. We don't have, we don't have Justin. I was hoping Justin would be here today. I think so one of the thoughts that I had was since there's such a small period of time, we could do an overview of the development environment. And that would be captured for posterity. And then my thought was to workshop one example potentially into the community space. And I think that would more than consume all possible time. But wasn't sure, what thoughts are you thinking, Terry?
Yeah, I think we need to have some advanced plan for content.
That's what I was hoping
because,
Justin was here. We could maybe try and use eBay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can bank on having any guaranteed contributors. So we need to probably have a
Agreed.
I imagine what we will want to do is do an introduction anyway. So we want to explain what it is that we've been doing and what the key highlights are of that. And then we should probably try and open it up to contributions and invite people to connect if we have that capability live. But if we don't have that, then we need to be prepared to fill out the remainder of the presentation with some pre-prepared content.
Right. Is there is there something you have in mind that we could start looking at?
No, I really wanted to understand what your vision was for this session.
Yeah, well, it's like I said, the ideal scenario is that we could workshop something. Barring that, we can either focus on having a community example or use one of the existing bugs to or create a tracking one to just replicate kind of procedurally. Here's how we talk about things. Here's how we go through the review process. Here's what it looks like when you publish it. Let's see. Sorry, all right, pause, capture some notes here. Engaging in the discussion. I mean, hell, we could make a working session around doing CI/CD for networking stacks. You going to CDCon, Richard?
Bit early for me for that, but that sounds quite intriguing, I must admit. When is CDCon? Sorry.
This particular session is June 7th.
Okay, probably a little bit early.
Right. And where are you based?
London.
So it'd also be, let's see, what time is this thing?
It's late afternoon, I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, right. It's the other way around. Sorry. I've been doing a lot of, I did a lot of last minute meeting schedules last week. And I was having to negotiate Western Europe, Eastern Europe, India, and Australia. And that was a fun time.
Ouch.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so barring that, if you change your mind, Richard, let us know. Barring that, let's see, we have updates for the CI section, CD section, testing, and config. Oh, and Google's opinionated CI/CD, so I can reach out to Nicola to see if that's another potential example. So we could just pick one, right? I don't have a super strong lean one way or another. Thank you, Moi. Oh, and another for resources, the other thing is we were talking about starting basically the table of contents content. So curating examples of different categories of content as sort of like an appendix. Were you there for that conversation, Terry? I'm trying to think.
Not sure I remember what that was specifically about.
Yeah, I think maybe you weren't there for that one. There was, I think Justin was there and maybe Tracy. And Nicola brought it up because Google is being a little bit twitchy about what content they want to be hosted versus what content they want to be referenced. And then we discussed on, the likelihood of that being an ongoing concern. And so how to incorporate that type of content in a centralized way. So if you think about, it could be straight up just examples, or it could be potentially a line, for example, on domain specific. There's different ways that we could incorporate it. And I think the first thing is to start to aggregate the list and then figure out how we might be able to leverage it and then incorporate it into our categories more effectively.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's, not just the how to get started and learning conceptually, but then here are like 6 examples of this concept where it wouldn't necessarily be hosted on our site, which we agree should be a fine thing. Okay. Just capture that issue so I don't forget. Submit. All right. Other possible topics that we could use. Yeah, sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Okay, so Google, potentially one of the existing content bugs, though ideally something would be more vendor specific, or at least example specific. I'll reach out to Justin to see if he's made any progress on his content.
So he posted a sort of one pager. I think we would need to put quite a bit more detail in for it to work in the context we imagined originally.
Sherbert. I think my CDF Slack account was attached to my Google account. All right, I'll have to get that fixed. Whoops. All right, another thing on my list to do. All right, so we need, and he asked for a review on that.
So he posted something in the Slack channel earlier in the week. But it wasn't quite what I was expecting. So I was hoping he was going to be here so we could have gone over it in a bit more detail.
Okay. We can maybe start an async and channel to get it going. Do you think it would, if we were able to massage it a bit, it would be a potential worth using as an example, or no?
I think we would have to find out whether he's comfortable doing that in that context.
Fair enough.
And it would be a useful basis for, you know, eliciting the sort of information we would need to you know, fill out a section like that. But if he's not empowered to have those conversations in that forum, then obviously we couldn't do that. So we'd need to verify that up front.
Okay. Probably, well, I don't know if I'll have enough time, but I now own the CI/CD space for MongoDB. So I can also see what they have, maybe invite one of my new engineers to come along. Timeframe's
Well,
a
that might
little
be good
tight
as
though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's either that or we revert back to a sort of interview format and just have some pre-prepared questions that we can use to, you know, kickstart a conversation between us about some of the key points.
Actually, that's a great idea. Hey, I see it, Justin. Maybe.
Hello.
That's man, that picture was stupendous. I love the flowers. 1 second, Terry, the idea of having maybe like a form a templatized form that people could use, like, okay, like, or checkbox, multiple choice, I don't know, something around the what do you have, what don't you have, and then start to, and really make it like stupid simple to start to wrap your head around kind of key areas. That actually sounds like a really awesome idea.
Yeah. So since we said Justin's name 3 times and summoned him into the call,
Yes,
I guess
that was funny.
We should fill him in.
Your ears must have been burning, sir.
Yeah, take the kid to school.
Sorry, say it again.
I said I had to take the kid to school this morning, so I wasn't able to join at 8.
Gotcha, no worries. Okay, so apparently I missed you posting like a prelim one pager, so I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. But Terry, you had taken a peek. Did you want to? You said you had a comment or 3.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that because you were going to go away and get and verify that you were able to have that discussion in a sort of public forum. That's been cleared now, has it?
Yep.
Okay, great. Is there more detail available? You gave us a sort of overview of some of the basic pieces, but ideally it'd be good to drill into some of that and expand on it a bit. Is that something
As much
that's
detail as
achievable?
you would like, as much detail as you would like is available. I just wasn't sure what level of detail was relevant or what really we wanted me to say.
Okay, so that sounds good. And how do you feel about doing that live in front of a conference audience?
Fine.
Sweet. There we go. We have our scenario.
So the birds of a feather session that we have for CDCon, the idea was to try and get people engaged in, the collaborative process of what we're doing, and to give a bit of an example of, how we go through this process and, find the useful information that needs to be codified as part of this process. So it'd be really good if we could use, part of your process as a talking point to sort of drill into in a bit more detail.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems great.
Okay, and
Awesome.
you were planning to be at CDCon anyway? Yeah?
I am.
Awesome. Okay. Our session is the 7th at I want to say it's 10 something Texas time. Grab it real quick.
So what we should probably do is have
Here
a
it
bit of
is.
an offline chat on the Slack, just to cover off some of the bits that we probably want to then discuss live, so that you're prepared and you've got relevant information at your fingertips, and we don't want to spring anything on you that's going to be hard to answer.
Yes, we don't want to put you on the spot. I want you to feel empowered.
No, it's all good. Whatever. I'm good at answering. I don't know. I'll get back to you with an answer, but it would be good if I had the answers there, so I didn't have to get back to you.
Go digging. Yeah. Okay. So we can start a sheet. Let's see. As soon as I get back onto Slack, we can. I mean, don't feel like you have to wait for me. You and Terry can start the conversation. I will work on getting back onto Slack, and then we can do the prep work for that. Awesome. Okay. Cool.
And the intent really is to be demonstrating that thought process. You know, because this is something that's already been set out. It's something that people are already doing, but the audience will mostly be people who are still on that journey or just starting that journey. And so what we want to try and include is some of the thinking that goes into that, and perhaps one or two of the challenges, so that we're starting to show here's how you do this stuff, but here's why you're doing it, and here's the context that it sits within. So people are getting more of a real world example of how to apply these techniques in a way that's really going to pay off.
Yeah, I think I forget what I called it, translations maybe, in the pipeline. We went through a process where you would finish your work, and then your work would just sit in the main branch for 2 days while you got translations from the translations team. We were like, oh, that takes forever. Let's not do that. And so what we've done, what we're working on now instead, is do machine translations, so like Google Translate level translations immediately, and then as an asynchronous task, like have someone verify those and then feed that back into the pipeline. So I think that would be a good thing to talk about as well.
Yeah, that's a really good example.
Okay. So if we have Justin, and then I will also reach out to the Tecton folks just to see if that's another possibility. We could have that as a potential plan B or C. Are there any other thoughts that we'd have around the BOF?
Just in terms of general housekeeping, I'm happy for you to be the lead presenter if you like. So
oh, you're too kind.
You're welcome to be voice number one, and I'm happy to be your sidekick.
Siblings in arms. We can share. But I can certainly do the intro. I can have that ready to go. Okay, and I haven't seen a platform check come in yet. Have you seen that? It just occurred to me, because last time we did a pre.
No.
Okay.
And in fact, I don't know if you've registered, but our session wasn't in the list of slots. You're supposed to sign up for your own slot when you register, and I couldn't do that because we weren't in the list.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I think crap. I'm not sure if I registered. I think I registered, and I think I registered under my Google account. So I may need to re-register. And then you have the email account of the woman that we were talking to about scheduling. Do you want to start a new thread with her?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, and if you could CC this email I'm dropping into the chat.
Okay.
That would be great. Okay. All right, I'll get this done. I will look for your email. Thank you for sending that. I don't remember if I forwarded that to my personal account or not, so I don't think I did. Let's get that sorted.
Okay. And are we going to try and push for some sort of soft launch at CDCon?
Soft launch of the site.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get with Kara. Let me figure out what's going on with that. The hope was that we could have it fully published, or at least in a beta form. And the fact that no one's looked at it is concerning. So let me see if I can get that unwedged.
You say you need someone to look at it. Do you just need like a review of it?
No, we need someone who's part of the Linux Foundation to do whatever it is that they do to give us the to get the domain. So, and I'm not sure who that is.
There's like a magic Jira place that I filed trying to think why I did this. I don't remember why, but I filed some Jira task and the Linux Foundation picked it up around domain stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you forward me
I'll see if I can remember what I did.
that whatever that, I don't know about the Magic Jira. We were just using GitHub issues.
The domain part should be trivial because we only want a subdomain of the CD Foundation site. So that's an internal matter.
I've just linked it into Zoom chat.
Awesome. Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
And so
The bit that might be stickier is the linking the actual site implementation to that domain.
I'm sorry, Terry, can you say it again?
Well, we've got to get our actual site instance hosted and connected to that domain registration. So that will probably be a different person to the person that can register and set up the domain.
Ah, right.
There's probably going to be 2 tickets, and therefore we're going to need to make sure that both of those are in progress in parallel.
And I think, oh, we didn't put it in our GitHub issue. Are we thinking best practices.cd.foundation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Project services, good technical support for LF projects. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
This, I think, is exactly what I needed.
And they were
Is
super
that-
speedy too.
Awesome. All right. I will get on that today. Shoot. Yes, I'm onboarding, so I should be done with onboarding by mid-afternoon, and then I can work on this stuff. Okay, cool. Any other topics? So the next time we meet is actually the day before the Birds of a Feather, so we can have that as a last minute details prep. And then I guess for Richard in particular, you'll be talking to Terry offline, and if you want to workshop some scenarios, we can take that time as well.
Brilliant. Thank you.
All right, any other topics for today?
I think we're good.
All right, I will figure out all of my transition stuff, and hopefully we'll see you on Slack by the end of my day. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Good to meet you, everyone.
Cheers, Richard.